Reply to the Governor's speech be agreed to. The honourable member for Huon.
Sorry, I just need to do a COVID clean.
Yes,
Oh no, people are watching, Bastian. Sarah did it for me. There you go.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Madam Deputy President, may I begin by congratulating Mr. Craig Farrell on his emphatic return as the member for Derwent to this House and for being elected its President pretty much unopposed. He has truly been outstanding in both roles, and I'm pleased that he has received this recognition from his community and, of course, from us, his colleagues here in the upper house of Parliament. And may I say today I'm looking forward to seeing him back in the chamber, hopefully next week. Can I welcome and congratulate the new member for Windermere on his election to this chamber on May the 1st. I'm looking forward to working with him for many years to come, and I'm sure he will find his new position exciting and, of course, rewarding. I want to acknowledge the significant contribution the former member for Windermere, Mr. Ivan Dean, made to this House. It was a privilege sitting next to him in this chamber. The diligence and professionalism he has demonstrated pretty much each and every day has been inspirational. Honourable members, I have now moved into the former member for Windermere's old parliamentary office, and I'm pleased to advise you that he did not leave any smoking products or Fox paraphernalia behind.
I bet they're there, you just haven't seen them yet.
There might be sketch.
I'm not going to comment, Madam Deputy President. Congratulations to the member for Mersey on being returned unopposed to this House. Your hard work and dedication has been recognised by your community. It must be nice celebrating your re-election before a single vote was actually cast. But by introducing legislation on voluntary assisted dying and carrying it successfully through this chamber, you have demonstrated to all Tasmanians what this House and indeed all members here are capable of, and I thank you for that. Congratulations to Her Excellency the Honourable Barbara Baker AC on being appointed Governor of Tasmania. I trust Her Excellency will meet the substantial demands of her new role with distinction. Mrs. Deputy President, I would like to thank you for the opportunity to respond to the Governor's address. Of course, I am aware that the Governor's address was indeed conceived, written and approved by the government itself.
Is that right?
That's why the self-congratulatory undertone was puzzling at times.
Didn't you realise that?
But I probably should not have been surprised. When superlatives such as significant and historic outcome or unprecedented personal endorsements are used within the first 100 words of a speech, then I really can't help myself but point out that the government did indeed win an election, but it also won an election that Tasmania did not have to have in the first place. During the campaign, the Premier mentioned over and over again that the government had unresolved business. He pointed out the many issues that needed to be addressed. I think it was fair enough, but the role of government is actually to govern. It's about getting on with the job. It's about calling for an election when absolutely necessary, not when politically opportune. To tell the Speaker of the House that she could no longer remain a member of the Premier's own party 3 years after being the star recruit and candidate, using that then as an excuse to advise the former governor that the government has lost the majority on the floor of Parliament, only to then recruit a former member of the opposition who turned independent, only to become the star recruit of the Premier within 24 hours, was just odd at best. Or, as many commentators said, Tasmanian politics at its worst. Going to an election 1 year early for fabricated reasons is one thing. Holding the election on the same day as the 3 regular elections for the Legislative Council was indeed historic and unprecedented. And I don't mean that in a good way. I've got to say, after that spectacle, fixed-term elections for the House of Assembly does not sound like a terrible idea after all. Tasmanians appreciate an active and vibrant democracy and a political contest. They don't appreciate political spectacles. And it turns out, after the election, not much has changed for the government. Same number of seats, same people, same stable majority they had before. So it's more of the same. But how stable will the majority be? And I guess only time will really tell. Tasmanians are rightly wondering what this was actually all about. And personally, I'm still a bit puzzled by it all. But it's the government that dictates the narrative. It's the government that has the speeches written. Looks like the government is very much ready for the first 100 days. The first 100 days. It sounds like the last 2,555 days, the last 7 years, are meant to be forgotten. Well, not so fast. 7 years is a long time. Many patients who are waiting to see a neurosurgeon for just as long can attest to that. Their lived experience is real. And this government should not even try to whitewash its own record. It should not try to hide that it left many, too many Tasmanians behind under its watch. The Premier reshuffled the deck chairs again. It's not that new members of Parliament were commissioned to become Ministers of the Crown. No, it's been a switch and swap. We now have the third health minister in 3 years. What does it mean for being able to be held to account? What does it mean for taking responsibility? A stable government, in my opinion, looks different. So apparently, after 7 years of making us the healthiest state of the nation, annual record investments in health, record employment of clinical staff, setting up the Mercy Hospital as the elective surgery epicenter of Tasmania, redesigning the health system under the One State, One Health System program, years of consulting on the so-called Our Healthcare Future initiative, we are now back to square one. It's all starting again now.
Getting close to 2025 too.
A flurry of activity within 100 days. Even within 30 days now being announced. More focus group approved buzzwords such as elective surgery blitz, roundtables, MOUs have been recycled over the last weeks. To me, it sounds more of the same. To me, it sounds like the government really is trying to overcompensate for its shortcomings in the last 7 years. Why, for example, would you rush in a hurry to sign an MOU for the Calvary Hospital co-location within 30 days of the election, when the proposal for it has indeed been sitting on the minister's desk since 2018? The proposal hasn't changed. Labour actually supported the proposal at the last election 3 years ago. That hospital could have been built already. That hospital could and should be commissioned and operational right now. How do you actually explain the inactivity over the last 3 years? How do you do it? I'm sure that I will never receive an answer to that. There certainly was no answer, no acknowledgement in the governor's address. Let's be clear, the proposal for the co-located Calvary Hospital in Launceston has been gathering dust in the minister's office for well over 1,000 days. That's unbelievable and it's disappointing. Labour took a comprehensive health action plan to the election. Our initiatives were supported and endorsed by many health peak bodies, academic colleges, and health unions, such as the Australian Medical Association, the Rural Doctors Association, the Australian Paramedic Practitioners Association, the Royal Australian College of General Practitioners, the Pharmacy Guild, the Health and Community Services Union, and the Australian Midwifery and Nursing Federation. Good health policies are developed by co-design, and they are based on best evidence. That can at times be confronting, and it is at times difficult to communicate. Good policies are usually more than just sound bites. In a speech at the National Press Club a few years ago, I said that designing good health policies is a bit like making a cake. The core ingredients, the substance, has to be evidence-based. The flavors can be political. But if it's all about flavors and not substance, everybody gets sick. Tasmania's health policy analyst Martin Goddard said in the Mercury just 3 days before the May election that Labour's health policy action plan was the only comprehensive health reform programme on offer. He said that if successfully implemented, it would be the most significant reform in this state's health system in half a century. Madam Deputy President, I have offered my support to Minister Rockliff, and I'm grateful that he found the time to meet me over coffee. But I also want to be clear that just because he paid for my flat white on one occasion doesn't mean that I'm going to rubber stamp each and every one of his policy initiatives over the next 4 years.
At least you're transparent.
That's right. There's got to be a grain of decency left in politics, and I really hope that the government can find ways to work sincerely with the opposition parties and independents in both houses of Parliament to make a meaningful and lasting difference to our health system and to the well-being of all Tasmanians. There are many, many policy areas a government and opposition can fight over. But it should not be health. We are losing too much time, and we are losing Tasmanians. Let's work together. Let's have health policies that are informed by meaningful debate, logic, and common sense. Let's have health policies that are informed by evidence, confronting as this may be. Let's have health policies that are designed to stand the test of time and political cycles. Let's have health policies designed for Tasmanians, with Tasmanians. I'm offering my commitment here today in the first session of the 50th Parliament. Let us overcome political barriers. Let us work together on health for the benefit of all Tasmanians.
Yeah.
And on that, I conclude my remarks and note the Governor's address.
Question